Hey guys, and welcome to this review of Wolfenstein for the Xbox 360. The name Wolfenstein is such a big word in gaming history, due to it being the first game to ever bring to our screen the idea of an FPS, or first-person shooting game. So when I heard about the new Wolfenstein that was coming out, I thought, how much pressure can you put yourselves under, as a company, by taking on the name Wolfenstein for a name of a game? Well, the pressure must have been crazy, that's all I can say, and it shows in the game, which is a good starting point when you're talking about resurrecting Nazis using relics containing the power to make the holder be able to shift between dimensions, for example, or make your bullets explode on contact. So is this the rebirth of a classic, or just a gimmicky shooting game? Well, I'll be going through what I believe the game is, and you can make your decision on whether or not you wish to buy it or not. The first points I'm going to be making are about the story and characters. You play as a character called B.J. Blazkowicz, who is an American agent who was part of the previous installments of the Wolfenstein games, and is back to stop the Nazi army being resurrected. You also get to meet allies such as Eric Engel, who are there to give you missions to mostly either investigate strange Nazi activity or to rescue comrades that are being held captive. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to stop the Nazi army being resurrected, and to do so you must destroy all the Nazi strongholds and ensure the relics they are using to bring them back to life are destroyed. To do this, you must obviously fight a whole bundle of different enemies, ranging from the generic soldier to the disintegration troopers, the mutated dogs to the resurrected, and of course the bosses, who are nearly all German commanding officers under the effects of relics. The next thing I want to be discussing are the graphics. The graphics of this game are pretty damn good, with the environments being different and each providing you with other options on how to progress through these environments rather than just going in all guns blazing. The enemies are all well detailed as well, and even though the generic ones are repeated a bit too often for my liking, it does mix them up sometimes so that you have to employ different strategies. However, they did miss something out, and that has to do with the allies. I mean, I've been in parts where you see 3 of the same person on your team, and that looks a bit ridiculous, but it's a minor flaw with the game. The explosions in this game also look rather real. Rather than having some ridiculous nuclear explosion for a grenade going off, they have a proper radius and a proper look to them, which is nice to look at, especially when seeing an opposing member get hit by one. And considering this game is rated an 18, I'm guessing you get the idea. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the sound. As I'm sure you're all wondering, sound? What is he on about? I'm talking about effects rather than game music, considering this game really doesn't do level music apart from when tension is increasing or fighting begins, and for good reasons, since I'm sure many of you, if you have played a shooting game, which I'm sure many of you have, you would like to actually be able to hear some bits of dialogue or some footsteps, rather than hearing some dramatic music drowning out everything else, since more than likely most of you would turn it off. There's not really much else to be said about the sound. It's pretty decent throughout, with the exploding sound effects and everything sounding pretty decent. However, there is one problem with it, and it is pretty much present in all World War I and all World War II movies and games, and that is that the Germans are speaking English. I like to call it the "why are we speaking English" syndrome. However, I am not going to change the language to German, simply so I can't make out what they are saying. However, if you do have Wolfenstein currently, or you're going to buy it, and you have a lot of free time on your hands, please feel free to do so. However, I will not be doing that anytime soon. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the gameplay and controls. The gameplay is not too different from a lot of shooting games recently. In fact, its gameplay is very much like Call of Duty 4, in the fact that you feel like you're in the environment and that you run like a normal person would while holding a gun, rather than in a few other shooting games where you would run bolt upright like some robot. There's around 9 weapons you get to choose from, ranging from the normal World War II guns, such as the Panzerschreck, aka the rocket launcher, to the particle cannon, which is a rather absurd weapon. Each of these guns can be upgraded by collecting the 2 collectibles throughout the game: Intel, which unlocks the upgrades, and Gold, which allows you to buy the upgrades. The upgrades are pretty standard, such as increased clip size and reload times being faster. This obviously has a difference in this game to normal shooting games, and that is the power called the Veil, which can allow you to use projectile shields as well as slowing down time. This can be very useful for taking on troops of the enemy. However, it only has a certain amount of time before it wears off, so use it wisely. then again, you do have places which are conveniently around the place to restore the gauge, so you won't be without for long. The controls are also very much like Call of Duty 4, with pushing in the right stick to use melee, and holding down the left stick makes you run. But after that, it pretty much all goes downhill. As I'm sure you can see, there's not a single button on the control pad that's free, which seems a bit ridiculous to me anyway. I think they could have shortened it down considerably, but it's not a major flaw with the game, so I'll leave it be. I also have to mention an annoyance, and it's about the saving. You get about 20 slots to save, it saves about every 8th of a level, you then get 5 saves going all the way back again, and for some reason it stays at the same day the whole time. Mine is stuck on the 22nd of August 2009, so if I save it and then I try and delete it, it will just come up with the same date again, and that's pretty annoying to find the last place that you tried to save at. The next thing to talk about is the multiplayer. The game does have an online multiplayer, and even though I haven't tried it, from what I heard, it differs a lot from the single player and incorporates some Team Fortress elements into it with being able to use different classes. However, the company who made it, Endrant Studios, had to sack a lot of people because the multiplayer was slated, so I would say stay clear of the multiplayer until patches come out to fix all the bugs, since I'm sure it'll be a good multiplayer after they fix them all. So, does this game live up to the name of Wolfenstein, or is it just another shooting game with a gimmick? To be honest, I'd say it's a bit of both. It definitely does bring Wolfenstein to the next generation with the graphics, and it certainly does do some fan service with the return of not only BT Blazkowicz, but with its weird and crazy enemies. However, it does at times feel like it's all about the gimmick, especially later on when you're going up against a lot of guys at once, as well as the fact that scattered through the level you can use secret passages to bypass or make things easier for yourself by getting a better position to kill the enemy from. So I would say that you should rent this game or try it around at a friend's house before making a decision on whether or not you wish to buy it or not. But that's my review for Wolfenstein for the Xbox 360. I hope you'll join me for more reviews. Peace out.